Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. All week we've been talking about what happens when love meets the weight of the real world. What happens when the ones meant to protect us are the ones who cause harm. What happens when the institutions we trusted fail us, or lie, or look the other way. We've talked about how that breaks something inside, how we respond by grieving, by raging, by pulling back, by bracing ourselves. So now we ask, what does love look like after all of that? Not love as a theory and not love as a symbol or a dream, but love as a way of being in a world that's raw and loud and hurting. Here's where we begin. Right here. Love, when it's real, lives on the other side of disillusionment. It doesn't deny the pain. It doesn't look away from the damage. It doesn't require you to be naive. Love that survives grief is deeper. Love that's walked through fire holds its shape in a different way. You stop loving because you're supposed to, and you start loving because you've seen what happens when we don't. The world today doesn't always make space for that kind of love. We live in noise, we live in conflict, we live in cultures that reward performance more than presence, and control more than care. So if you're trying to love clearly, you're doing something radical, whether you realize it or not. And no, it won't always feel good. It won't always be received. It won't always be safe. But it will always be true. Sometimes love means letting someone go. It's not something I'm good with. Sometimes it means holding your ground when you've always been the one to bend. It might sound like a firm no. It might show up in silence, where you used to pour yourself dry trying to explain. And sometimes it's gentle in a way that catches people off guard. Not sweet, not soft-spoken, but kind in a fierce, quiet, rooted way. The kind of kindness that says, I will not become like the people who wounded me. You're not here to be a savior. You're not here to fix everyone. You're here to stay aligned with what love actually is. And what it is? Well, it shifts with context. It meets the moment. In one moment, love might be patience. In the next, it might be walking away. It might be calling something out or giving someone space to grow, even if you never see the result. There's no formula, only honesty, only alignment. You know you're still in love's orbit when you don't need to control the outcome anymore. You do what's right, not because it guarantees a result, but because that's who you've chosen to be. And when it gets heavy, because it will get heavy, you don't shame yourself for being tired. You rest. You reconnect. You remind yourself why you're doing this in the first place. Because love in a hurting world is not a sprint. It's a steady presence, a return, a decision you keep making in small, quiet ways. And yes, people will still let you down. Systems will still fail. Some folks will misunderstand your peace for weakness. Some will twist your words, test your boundaries, or try to make you love a weapon. They'll try to make your love a weapon, they will. But you won't fall for that anymore, not because you're closed, but because you're clear. You're not here to be endlessly available. You're here to be whole. And the love that comes from your wholeness, it doesn't burn out, guys. It doesn't collapse under pressure. It breathes. It stands. It knows its own name. So if you've been wondering what love should look like now that you've seen too much, the answer is simple, but not easy. It should look like you. Still intact, still present, still refusing to mirror the harm that you've endured. You don't have to be optimistic, and you don't have to fake cheerfulness. You just have to stay anchored to what matters, to what heals, and to what brings you back to life. We've walked a hard road this week. It's been a lot darker than usual. And yet, here you are. Not numb, not cynical, not gone. You are still here. That alone is proof of the thread. Still holding and still real. And maybe, guys, maybe that's what love looks like too. I love you all very, very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on, okay? Later, Gators. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.